So welcome. My name is Kristen Burnham, and I am the Programming and Events Coordinator for Prince William Public Libraries. And I am joined today by Barry Trott. Barry, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm Barry Trott. My title is Adult Services Consultant for the Library of Virginia's Library Development and Networking Division. And the work that I do and that my five colleagues in that very small division at Library of Virginia, it does not center around any of the library work at the Library of Virginia. We are actually, our main role is to support the public libraries throughout the state. So we work with Prince William and the other 93 public library systems throughout the state to help them do what they're trying to do better. And one of the things that we do, and that's a project that I am in charge of, is the statewide database collection, Find It Virginia, it's called, where we provide a set of core digital resources to all the public libraries throughout Virginia. So, regardless of whether it's a large, fairly well funded system like Prince William or a very small system, that might have one library building and a part-time, library director as the only staff member, like we have out in Southwest Virginia and a couple places, that everybody in Virginia has at least a core set of digital resources that they can share with their users. And so you're very fortunate to live in Prince William, which has a great collection beyond the Find It Virginia collection of digital content for you all. But we are making sure that everybody is at least starting off with a somewhat level initial core content of digital content. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. One of the pieces in Find It Virginia, which is access video just for kids. Now, you don't confuse that, because Prince William has a second product that the same company produces called Access Video, which is more documentaries and things of that nature. I actually don't know a whole lot about that because my library doesn't have that here where I live. So what we're talking about tonight is Access Video just for kids. So it's content focused on really grades. I would say primarily grades K through 8. It probably does have some content for high school students in terms of some of the study resources and things like that. But really, I'd say this is focusing on content sort of K through 8. And so I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen.
Oh, and
So,
Barry, before you do that, just a couple of housekeeping
oh,
notes. Like I
yeah,
said, this is being recorded. Following the presentation, I will be emailing everyone out a couple of links, including links to our educator newsletter and a survey for you to complete, as well as, once it's available, a copy of this recording so that you can rewatch it if you so desire. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself, turn off my camera, but I will be monitoring the chat in case you have any questions for Barry.
yeah. And as Kristen was saying, if you do have any questions, go ahead and either put them in chat, or I think we're a small enough group, you can unmute yourself and ask them, since I think there's only a handful of folks here. So I am going to share my screen, and we'll start off by looking at the Prince William Public Library website. So I assume you're familiar with this. Prince William Public Libraries here, their main website. I have already gone. I'm going to go back one, actually. So this is the main website. But if you scroll down on the main website just a little bit, you'll see this section for the digital library. And this is where you want to start for any of the digital resources here. So we're going to click on digital library. Takes us to this main digital library page. You do need your library card to access this content, so that's something to keep in mind. But we're going to click on the kids section to start off with. And we have access video on demand just for kids. It pops up. It's the very first resource here. So I'm going to click on that. I had already logged in, so it's taking me straight there. But the first time you do it, it's going to prompt you for a library card. So access video just for kids is a collection of about, well, a little over now, it looks like, right, it says here 13,000 titles. And they have a variety of things. They're arranged in a couple of different ways. On this homepage, you always should be seeing the Reading Rainbow series now. Is that correct?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, great. Okay. So when you look at this, notice that it tells you that there's 153 titles in the series. And then there's the specific titles. So these are all feature books in this case. You get a little description. You can look at a preview. You can share it. If you create an account, and I'll show you how to do that, you can actually create playlists and you can view video standards. So these are tied to specific grades. It's taking a little while to load here. We'll look at the standards of learning things in a little bit. But you can sort of see what you get if you choose a specific video. Anyway, so if you do pick a specific video, so let's look at folk tales from around the world. This again is a series, so it tells you there's 8 titles in the series. But if we pick a specific title, are you seeing African American folk tales now, second edition? Is that what's showing up on the screen? I hope.
Yes. Sorry, I'm
Okay.
really struggling with the unmute button today.
That's all right. No worries. I thought it was. You get a bunch of information here. It does tell you that this is a 20-minute video, 21-minute video. Many of the segments are very short, comparatively speaking, but this is a little bit longer one. You get a description of it. You get some tags here. You find out a whole bunch of things, if you really want to know this about when it was copyrighted, who the publisher is, and things like that. Tells you what grades it's aimed at, which is always useful. But one of the things I like most is that you get the actual segments here on this side, and you can go straight to a specific segment if you want. You can also then get a transcript of the program. I'm going to pause that so it's not playing in the background. But you get a full transcript of the program, which is always a nice thing to have. Again, blending together visual and reading, which can be really useful. So that's sort of, when you look at a specific video. I want to show you now these little buttons in the center here. If you mouse over them, these are the segments that they've broken things down into. Things like history, world languages, math, arts, and music. If you click on the 3-bar menu, or the hamburger menu, as it's sometimes referred to in the upper left here, you basically also see all those subjects. So you have your 10 subjects here. They give you some popular categories to explore, featured producers. So these have some of the famous ones: PBS, Reading Rainbow, Sesame Street, Weston Woods, all big children's publishers and producers. But say there was a specific area you wanted to look at. We'll just pick math. We'll go to the math section. And here you can start to see these are actually all short lessons. So if you're working with your student and they're working on addition and subtraction, we can open that particular video up. Well, notice this is just a 4-minute video, and it walks you through some addition and subtraction. So here's addition. Sam has 4 hats, Josh has 8. How many do they have all together? The student works to add them up. Again, you can watch the transcript through the whole thing. You can find a little bit more description, what ages this is aimed at. So this can be a real boon for students who are having trouble with a particular subject area, math, science, just need some background. Some of the stuff in world, history are interesting for biographies of famous people in history, things about inventions, things about the U.S. and world history. Again, so if we look at, let's see, historical myths, did these things really happen? Paul Revere's Ride, the battles of Lexington and Concord, Battle of Bunker Hill. So this is myths about George Washington, I guess. So it probably has did the cherry tree happen, and did he throw that dollar across the Potomac River or not? So these are the sort of things that you can find, through history. But as I said, you have all these different subject areas: ABCs and numbers, basic numbers, math, health and PE, history, people and places, reading and writing, science, world language, TV shows, and movies. So they can all be great places. And again, I think this is primarily younger kids we're talking about, but ones who need perhaps a visual approach to learning, or who just need some extra practice, that can be really useful. Um, I'm going to look at this because Kristen just showed me this tonight. So I learned something new about Just for Kids as well. If you go to this, excuse me, section called Browse Standards, you can actually get tips on or links to videos in the collection that relate to specific standards of learning for Virginia. So we've got our Virginia standards of learning set here. Say we're going to pick grade 1, and we're going to say, let's look at language arts. Notice they give you a list of what those standards are. So you actually see the standards of learning here, but they're all linked. So if what we were looking at was, let's go just back up to the top, phonics and word analysis, if you click on that link, the hot link there, for that particular standard of learning, you get 434 resources that are centered around phonics and word sounds, I guess. So again, you can watch these. Your children can watch these. Many of them are very short. A lot of these are in the under half a minute long kind of things. So these are extremely quick, but they can be watched over and over again to reinforce concepts. So I think this, as I said, this was a new one to me, this standards of learning piece, but I think it's got some really useful opportunities here. And again, if we can go up to grade 8 science standards of learning and see if there's anything there. There may not. Oh, there are. That's great. So if we scroll down, what are the ones on interpreting data patterns? Oh, there's nothing there, unfortunately. They don't always have videos for everything. So again, this is we were talking about this, Kristen and I, before the program, that you're not always going to find exactly what you think you're going to find. You can obviously just do a general search. So if you were looking for things on whales, here's a 30-minute program on whales. Here's an hour almost program on humpback whales. Here's a 20-minute program on whales. Here's a 6-minute program on whales. So you can see that you're getting things that are covering a range of different lengths primarily, and different age approaches. You can use the filters here. So you can filter by types, educational videos, TV episodes, animations. So you can add these filters in here. If you're looking for just contemporary stuff, you can sort of say when it was copyrighted. You can get down to the specifics here as well. So there are all sorts of different ways to filter your searches. So that can be a powerful tool to use as well. You can create lists by exporting the titles. If you wanted to do that to, create yourself a checklist or something like that, and you could say, as you watch them, you can cross them off. So that's one way to do that. This section here, your profile, if you open that up, you can click the sign up button and create an account. Infobase is the name of the company that sells this product or licenses the product to libraries. But you can create an account. Once you have an account, you can do things like creating customized playlists. You can save favorite videos, and then there's other features. So you don't have to have an account to use Access Video Just for Kids, but if you do create an account, it can expand what you can actually do within the product. If you just click one of these buttons again, it takes you to the same sort of thing. Here's all the videos and shows about science broken down into some subject categories. So if you want to say, really all we want to do is look at outer space, here's 176 videos for outer space. If you click audio, this one doesn't have any audio, but if you click interactives, there are a number of different interactive lessons here that might be also valuable. So each set of resources you're looking at will have a videos tab, an audio tab, an interactives tab. Let me go back to, say, people and places, and I can show you what will come up. Audio would be things, these are usually songs. So in this case, sort of country and culture songs, holiday and celebration songs. So again, can be both, a mix of entertainment and education. Music can be a great way to start learning things. So as I said, access video just for kids is really, it's somewhat of a niche product. It's not aimed at a huge audience, but I think for parents and educators, it can be a really powerful tool to supplement lessons, to get some additional help when there's a particular area that you want to expand studies in, or if somebody's struggling with math, you can get some practice videos to watch and things like that. And they do continually add titles. So when we first got the product, I think there was about 10 or 11,000 titles. So they're adding, several thousands of titles over the course of a couple of years. So that's great. We know that things continue to grow and new topics come along. So this is a product we're really excited to have. We hope that you can find something in it to take advantage of for the work you're doing with your children. And I'm happy. I'm going to stop sharing right now and just go back to the main screen. But I am happy to take any questions you might have about the product, if you have any.
I'll
So again,
piggyback off of that. One thing that came up frequently when I was doing in branch, this program in the branches, was a lot of the questions that parents had were regarding vetting material, making sure that the material that they use, the curriculum, whatever it was, met with Virginia education standards. So the fact that Access Video on Demand does allow you to do that standard search, and that is for both the Access Video on Demand and Access Video on Demand for kids, that's a help. It's a huge
yeah,
help. So
absolutely.
thank you, Barry, for walking us through it. You learned something about Access Video, and we both learned something about WebEx. Does
Absolutely.
anyone have any questions? I know this one is a slightly shorter presentation just because the database itself is pretty straightforward. So feel free. Caitlin says,
Oh,
I'm
that's
sure
great.
this will help save my sanity this winter. Yes,
Sanity is one of our biggest products here. So we're always trying to make it easier for parents. So yeah, absolutely. This has got some great stuff in it.
and a lot of the videos, at least as of last year, a lot of the videos you actually can't find anymore
I
because
was thinking the same thing, Kristen. This
um
is stuff that is no longer freely available.
yeah, the copyrights, the owners of the copyright have pulled them, and so you can't find them on TV anymore, and good luck finding them on YouTube.
Right.
So the fact that this is available, it's really nice. Caitlin wants to know if Wishbone is in there
That's
somewhere.
a great question. I'm going to go back and share my screen and we'll do a little
I'm
wishbone
having
search.
such flashbacks to my childhood.
I don't know if wishbone is here, but let's see. We'll just search for wishbone. It doesn't look like it because I think wishbone would have popped up higher in the search results if they actually had the show.
Caitlin, we might actually own the DVDs to that because I know that we have like the complete collection of Bill Nye the Science Guy. I don't know if we have Wishbone or not, but I can check and I'll let you know. And if it comes up empty, I can always ask our material services people, would you consider getting Wishbone for nostalgia's sake?
Well, or just borrow it from, you can use interlibrary loan, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So just checking to make sure that I haven't missed any other questions. Um, okay, great. Okay. So, like I said at the start, what I'll be doing is sending a follow-up email to everyone either tomorrow or the following day because I'm in meetings back to back tomorrow. And it will have a link to a survey on there. I welcome any feedback that you have on how we can continue to support our homeschooling community. If you have any
Absolutely.
suggestions or on anything that we can be doing, please by all means share that. I will be Also sharing a link to an education newsletter that we produce once a month. And it always highlights a database, including new databases that we acquire, as well as programming that is suitable for students and educators. So sometimes there's a fun adult program in there for your sanity.